This is a really big film bulk roller, and I kind of love it. A few months back, this monstrosity was sent to me by Arn, who makes and sells them on their Etsy store. Unlike a normal bulk loader, like this one that I normally use, this one is designed to be able to hold rolls of film that are up to 400 feet in size, and it's completely motorized as well. Bulk rolling isn't always like the cost saver that we all kind of wish it was. Probably years ago, it made much more sense to be able to bulk roll, and you could really kind of cut down on how expensive buying individual rolls was if you're doing it in bulk. These days, I think it really just depends on where you are and what you have access to, and maybe you'll save a little bit of money on like doing Tri-X and FP4 and HP5. And one of the big drawbacks, of course, is that you can't get bulk rolls of color film. Like there's no 100 feet rolls of Portra anymore. There used to be. There's not really great options for bulk color photo film, but as I'm sure most of you know, there's a whole world of motion picture film stocks out there, which are kind of great for scooping up if you can get your hands on certain stuff for bulk loading. And something like this is definitely geared towards it. And it's a really fun kind of tool for this. It's a bulk loader, which means that most of you can at least kind of guess how it works. It just unscrews to open up the film compartment, and then you have to have your film on a motion picture film core, and it drops onto the main hub in the compartment. And then it threads up through this little slot and around this roller and comes out right on the top area here. Screw the door closed and then you're just good to go. It is of course a 3D printed material, but I really like the construction of it, and so far it's been completely light tight for me. It takes a standard 12-volt adapter that plugs into the side, and this powers the motor. On the top is this little compartment that flips open for you to place your empty film canister. Just like any bulk loader, you attach the film to the spool, and then you load it into the compartment and you close the lid. Because this one is motorized though, you can't load the film manually with a crank like you normally would. Instead, you have these 4 buttons on the side that allow you to load a certain number of exposures into your film canister. Pressing the 1 button will roll 1 exposure into the canister. 5 is 5 exposures. 10 is 10 exposures. And then the end button will automatically roll 36 exposures into the canister in one go. I don't really know why it's the letter N. Maybe for normal, I guess. These numbers, of course, are a little approximate. It kind of depends on like how much film you waste when you're loading your camera, but I find that they're pretty close. This short roll of XX that I did as a test originally, I think I rolled like 15 exposures onto it and I shot 16. There's something like that where I was only off by like 1 or 2, and I actually had like 1 or 2 more than what I thought I rolled. And so far, I haven't encountered any scratching or any damage to the film, even when I'm using like the faster motor setting for the 36 exposure rolls. In this little compartment on the top area here, there's actually pieces of felt that the film moves across, and it seems to work pretty well in terms of like making sure that no light is getting in when you're loading your film canisters into the top compartment, but also your film isn't getting scratched in my experience. The only feature that's kind of missing that I wish it did exist on here is a film counter, which would be really useful because you can put like a 400-foot roll in here and it can be easy to kind of lose track of where you are in the roll. Like I have this little one, this day roll bulk roller, and this is really useful because it tells me in meters on the back how much film is left on this roll that's inside the canister. But also not all bulk rollers have that. These kind of classic Watson like long bulk rollers don't have a film counter on it, so it's not the end of the world, but it is it's a little bit more inconvenient just because you can have a lot of film in there. Another drawback for some, I think, is going to be that it's really designed only to work with film that is on those motion picture cores with the larger opening to drop onto the hub of this thing, as opposed to there being like a core adapter or something that allows you to use the bulk rollers that come on those smaller cores. So it really is kind of pretty much geared towards like motion picture stuff. I personally, these days, more and more have just kind of found myself entrenched in like the motion picture film world, much more over the photo film stuff. So I just kind of find myself coming into like a lot of 35 motion picture stuff here and there, like old random stuff a lot of the time especially. And it's really just appealing to be able to throw that into something that's designed for it and roll down little rolls for shooting with stills if I want to. Now, of course, I have to mention that, yes, Kodak this year, last year, have really kind of cracked down on film resellers, respoolers, individuals ordering motion picture stuff. Really people who are like bulk rolling film and then like selling it off, which is really kind of funny because they've also only made it a little bit more enticing for the photo community by removing the anti-halation carbon backing that we all know and love as remjet from the color negative film stocks. That backing, of course, made it harder for people like home developing sometimes to really remove in a nice clean way. And not all photo labs will be able to run the stuff with the remjet through their processors or have like a service for doing it properly. But without that backing, it's like much easier to handle. So that's like an interesting kind of situation. I really think that they could kind of combat people really trying to get their hands on like Vision 3 stuff all the time by just bringing back, you know, bulk rolls of any of their color photo stuff like Portrait or Gold or Color Plus or Pro Image. Anyways, tons of 35mm film though does exist out there from over like the decades. Short ends, recans, print stock, camera stock, intermediary lab stocks, weird stuff. And I mean, like, I have some random stuff that is by no means like brand new film, but is just nice to have to roll down into stills at this point because I'm never going to shoot it in like an IMO or like an ARRI. This is old Kodak Plus X black and white stuff, like 200 feet maybe. This is like 100 feet of Vision 2 50D. This is, I think, Double X from the 90s. Just stuff that is just kicking around, and it's kind of like, why not just like shoot some stills with it in a bulk loader like this that is designed for it and is also very, very fast to use. And of course, there are alternatives to this specific one, because of course I was sent this for free. I understand the price tag attached to it might be some kind of high for some people. It is designed really well. I find that it works really well. I really like it. There's other versions of this kind of thing out there that are also 3D printed, maybe of different qualities. It kind of depends. There's also this crazy one that is like $1,200, but you know what? It's also manual only. It doesn't have a motor. So there you go. Thank you so much for checking this out. Thank you to Arn for sending me this. It really is a really useful tool depending on, you know, the field of film that you're kind of in. And like, I just bulk roll stuff that I kind of come across. I don't sell stuff. That's an important distinction. Like, I'm not somebody who's buying film to respool it and like slap a sticker on it and sell it. This is just really to be able to have stuff around to shoot like whenever. You can find information down below for this bulk roller specifically. There's also ways to support the channel. And thank you so much as always. I'll see you soon.